Chosen one, you've felt it, haven't you? That stirring deep within your spirit, the pull that tells you something is about to happen. For nights you've prayed, your whispers rising through the silence, wondering if the heavens still heard you. You asked for a sign, for confirmation, for a message that would make sense of what you've endured. And now, the message you prayed for has finally arrived. It's here, wrapped in divine timing, cloaked in mystery, ready to change everything you thought you knew about waiting, faith, and alignment. Before we continue, I want you to watch this video till the very end. What's coming next is not a coincidence. It's energy aligning with your prayers. Write your warmest wishes in the comments and type 777 to energize this message through the universe. The power that flows through shared intention is real. When many hearts vibrate at the same frequency, mountains move and doors open. So write it and let the energy begin. You've walked through nights that felt endless. You questioned if your prayers were floating into nothingness, unanswered and unseen, but what you didn't realize was that silence isn't denial. It's preparation. Every unanswered prayer was God aligning your reality with something higher than your understanding. He was protecting what was fragile, shielding what wasn't ready, and refining your spirit for the weight of the blessing you were asking for. The message you prayed for was never denied. It was being formed. When you felt abandoned, heaven was building foundations. When you cried alone, light was being woven into your story. The waiting season was not punishment, it was positioning. You had to be emptied so the right message could fill you. Because had you received this word earlier, you might not have understood its depth. Now you're ready, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. That's why this message found you today. There are no accidents in divine timing. The alignment of your pain, patience, and faith has created a perfect moment. And the universe, responding to that vibration, now whispers, "It's time." You're about to understand why the delays happened, why doors closed, and why certain people had to leave. The message you prayed for is the truth that will break confusion and restore your clarity. Every test you faced was connected to this moment. You've been molded through struggle, sculpted through silence. Your tears were not wasted, they were sacred water nurturing the roots of your destiny. That's why when this message reaches you, your spirit will recognize it. You'll feel a peace that doesn't make sense because it's not from the world. It's confirmation. The heavens have spoken your name again. Remember how you begged for a sign that you were not forgotten? This is that sign. You were never out of sight. The universe had been arranging circumstances, people, and moments, aligning every atom of existence to deliver this truth. You are still chosen. Your journey has not been in vain. What was hidden is now being revealed. What was delayed is now being released. Many times you mistook silence for rejection. You thought the storm was punishment, but storms clear paths. They don't just destroy, they transform. You've been through emotional hurricanes, yet you stand, stronger, wiser, and more grounded than before. That resilience is the proof that your prayers were not ignored. They were working in unseen dimensions. You see, when you pray, it's not your words that move heaven, it's your faith. And your faith has survived fire. You've continued to believe when logic failed, when timelines shattered, when hope felt distant. That endurance became a vibration heaven couldn't ignore. Your consistency has been louder than your tears, and now that consistency has summoned the answer. Chosen one, the message you prayed for isn't just words, it's transformation. It's an awakening that will realign every aspect of your existence. The opportunities you thought you lost will circle back in divine order. The love you gave that wasn't returned will be multiplied through new connections that honor your spirit. The blessings you thought were stolen will reappear in forms you couldn't have imagined. This is not a coincidence, it's a divine orchestration. The energy that once felt blocked has started to move again. Things are about to accelerate. Don't be surprised when everything begins to shift faster than you expected. The spiritual gates that were closed are now opening, and you'll notice it through synchronicities, dreams, and sudden moments of clarity. The signs you prayed for will no longer be subtle, they'll be undeniable. You may feel goosebumps right now as you hear this, and that's not random, it's your spirit recognizing truth. The frequency of this message is aligning with the vibration of your destiny. Heaven has confirmed what your intuition has been whispering all along. The breakthrough you prayed for is already in motion. But remember, with revelation comes responsibility. The universe gives signs not just for comfort, but for direction. The message you prayed for comes with instruction. Trust what you feel, not what you see. Don't doubt the timing. The delay was never to harm you, it was to protect the version of you that couldn't yet carry what's coming. Every closed door was divine redirection. Every rejection was protection. Every moment you were forced to let go, you were being led closer to the path meant only for you. Now you're walking in alignment with destiny, and soon everything that once confused you will start to make sense. You'll see why certain prayers weren't answered immediately. You'll understand that what you called loss was preparation. And you'll begin to see yourself not as a victim of circumstance, but as a co-creator with the divine. The message you prayed for is this: you were never waiting for God. He was waiting for you to trust Him completely. And now that trust has ripened into destiny, that's why this moment feels sacred, because it is. Everything you've been through, every sleepless night, every silent tear has brought you here. This is your confirmation. The time of wondering is over. You're stepping into the revelation phase of your journey. Stay grounded, stay faithful. The spiritual realm has already shifted in your favor. You're not imagining the signs, the numbers, the dreams. They're all echoes of the same truth. Your prayers have been answered. The message you prayed for has arrived, and you are ready to receive it. You've begun to sense the shift already. The subtle rearranging of everything around you. It's as if the universe has leaned closer, whispering what was once hidden. The message that once felt distant has now entered your atmosphere, reshaping your perception of what is possible. You are no longer in waiting, you are in unfolding. Each moment from here carries layers of meaning, and if you pay attention, you'll see how every fragment of your past begins to align with your present revelation. The stillness that once felt unbearable now carries a strange beauty. It's quieter but not empty, alive with intention. The people who left, the opportunities that faded, the dreams that seemed to vanish were all part of a sacred choreography. What looked like loss was divine redirection. What felt like delay was precise alignment. The message didn't come late, it came right when your spirit was strong enough to hold it without fear. You had to break open before you could receive what was meant to fill you. Now that you've received it, everything will begin to move at a rhythm you've never experienced before. Time will no longer feel linear. Answers will arrive in unexpected forms, through memory, intuition, even through sudden stillness. The same events that once brought confusion will now bring understanding. Every pattern you've lived through, every cycle that repeated, was heaven's way of guiding you back to awareness. And now awareness becomes your power. You may start to see faces in dreams, fragments of conversations you've never had but feel familiar. You'll feel drawn towards certain places without knowing why. That's how divine communication works. It's subtle but undeniable. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't demand, it invites. The message you prayed for carries energy, and this energy will begin to rearrange the course of your life until it aligns with the vibration of your destiny. You'll notice that what used to drain you begins to fall away. Old habits, old fears, even certain emotions will lose their weight. People who no longer serve your higher purpose will naturally fade into distance. Don't resist that. The message you received wasn't just an answer, it was an awakening. You can't carry what you've outgrown into what's coming next. This is the moment where you begin to release, not from sadness, but from understanding. The energy around you will start to intensify, and that's not something to fear. You're entering a spiritual acceleration, a phase where your manifestations will unfold faster than before. The key now is alignment. What you think, speak, and feel will shape what appears in your reality. The message you prayed for wasn't simply meant to comfort you. It was meant to remind you that you are the vessel through which divine will, the way it manifests. The answer didn't arrive to change your circumstances. It arrived to change your awareness, and through awareness, everything else transforms. This is why, right now, clarity is replacing anxiety. You may wake up feeling lighter even though nothing external has changed yet. That's because the internal shift always happens first. The frequency of your heart has tuned into a higher dimension of truth, and your physical reality is beginning to catch up. Don't rush it. The unfolding is precise. You'll soon notice how what once made no sense begins to fall into perfect alignment. The universe communicates in patterns, not chaos. You'll begin to recognize them now. The same way the tide returns to the shore, blessings return to those who learn to trust divine timing. This message is not a destination, it's a beginning. The start of a new rhythm in your life where flow replaces force, where peace replaces panic. The seasons of confusion have ended because you've learned to listen not with your ears, but with your soul. Every prayer you thought went unheard was recorded in light. Every tear became instruction, every longing became direction. That's why you're being pulled towards something new. It's not random, it's resonance. The energy of your faith has reached its echo point, and the universe is now answering back. The conversation between heaven and your heart has begun, and it will continue through signs, synchronicities, and sudden waves of calm that feel like home. So take a breath and feel it. The shift, the confirmation, the alignment. You are standing in the exact moment you once dreamed about. You don't have to chase the message anymore. It's already here, alive within you, unfolding in divine precision. Everything you've prayed for is now finding its way into form, piece by piece, moment by moment, until your outer world mirrors the peace that has just been planted inside you. You're beginning to feel the weight of the old world fall away. The noise that once consumed your thoughts now feels distant, like an echo from a life you no longer belong to. This shift is not something you can force or stop. It is simply happening, quietly, with divine precision. What you once chased is now finding you. What you once begged for is now unfolding naturally, because you've finally become the version of yourself capable of receiving it. You'll start to notice how peace becomes your new standard. The things that used to disturb you will lose their power. The opinions of others, the pressure to prove, the cycles of doubt, they'll fade like mist under the morning sun. You'll see how much energy you wasted trying to control outcomes that were never meant to be controlled. The message you received is reminding you that the power has always been within you, not in circumstances or validation, but in the quiet authority of your spirit. Every test that once broke you was secretly building you. There were moments when it felt unbearable, when your prayers turned into cries of exhaustion, when you wondered why heaven stayed silent. But now, as you stand in this moment of awakening, you can look back and understand the silence was the lesson. The absence was your initiation. You were being taught how to trust without evidence, how to hold faith even when your hands were empty. That kind of faith transforms you forever. It's in this transformation that you begin to attract differently. Your energy shifts and suddenly the world mirrors it. Opportunities that once felt out of reach begin to move toward you. People whose hearts are aligned with truth begin to recognize you without explanation. Even the atmosphere around you starts to respond. The right doors open, the right words come, the right timing unfolds. You've entered a state where manifestation no longer feels like striving. It feels like breathing. And this is where understanding deepens, because the message you prayed for was never meant to only tell you what's coming. It came to remind you who you are. You were never meant to chase signs. You were meant to become one. Every vibration of your existence carries divine intelligence. Every thought you choose to nurture shapes the reality forming around you. That's why your awareness matters now more than ever. You're no longer reacting to life. You're co-creating with it. You might feel strange moments of déjà vu, flashes of knowing before something happens. That's your intuition awakening. It's the language of the divine, and now that you've attuned to it, you'll find that clarity comes not from overthinking, but from stillness. You'll feel a quiet voice within that says, wait, move, let go, or this is the one. It's subtle, but it's sure. Follow it. It's the same guidance that carried you through the waiting season, and it will carry you through this new one. There will still be moments that test you, not because you're being punished, but because your growth demands confirmation. The universe will send small tests, echoes of your past, to see if you've truly evolved beyond old patterns. When those moments come, remember what this message brought you. Peace is your weapon. Silence is your shield. You don't need to react to prove you've changed. Your stillness is proof enough. What's next for you will not require struggle. It will require surrender. The same way the ocean doesn't force the tide, you don't need to force what's destined. The blessings assigned to you already carry your signature. They know where to find you. The relationships, the opportunities, the moments of healing and restoration, they're drawn to your frequency. All you must do is remain aligned with the truth that has already been spoken over your life. Your alignment is your magnetism. Your peace is your confirmation. You'll begin to realize that manifestation isn't about asking anymore. It's about remembering. You are remembering who you've always been beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the waiting. This realization will bring a calm so powerful, it feels supernatural. You'll laugh at moments that once made you cry, and you'll thank the delays that once broke your heart because they led you here to the message that changed everything. So breathe deeply. The journey has shifted from seeking to receiving. You are walking not in uncertainty, but in awareness. Every second from now carries divine purpose. Every heartbeat echoes with the rhythm of what's unfolding. You are exactly where you need to be, and nothing can delay what's already been written. The air around you feels different now, lighter yet full of electricity. Each day begins to hold a strange stillness, like the universe is holding its breath before revealing something extraordinary. You can sense it even before anything changes, that something is being rearranged on your behalf. The message has started to move through you, shaping your reality from the inside out. It's not just words anymore, it's becoming action, reflection, and vibration all at once. You'll notice how easily your energy shifts now. A single thought of gratitude opens new doors. A simple moment of faith invites clarity. The very atmosphere responds to your inner frequency because what was once a prayer has turned into power. This is where faith evolves into knowing. You no longer hope that things will change. You feel them changing. You can almost sense the divine machinery turning behind the curtain of the visible world. Everything that once felt random begins to show its purpose. You'll remember old moments that hurt you and see the hidden mercy inside them. People who left suddenly will appear in your memory, not with bitterness, but with understanding. Every delay, every detour, every unanswered question, you'll see how each was part of a greater pattern, aligning you with divine precision. It wasn't chaos, it was choreography. And now the choreography quickens. The rhythm of your days is no longer slow and heavy, it's alive. Things that were once stagnant are moving again. You'll begin to sense doors opening without force. Opportunities that once slipped through your fingers will return, not as tests, but as rewards. The message you received is now weaving itself into the fabric of your everyday life, and you are becoming the living proof of answered prayer. But as this new energy rises, it brings with it the final purification. You'll feel certain emotions surface: grief, fear, old memories. Don't resist them. They're the last remnants of who you used to be, gently asking to be released. The divine doesn't erase the past, it transforms it. Every tear becomes a symbol of rebirth, every scar a record of strength. Allow what needs to leave, because it's clearing the path for what's destined to arrive. This is where faith becomes movement. You'll find yourself acting on instincts you can't explain. You'll feel nudged to go places, to reach out to someone, to start something that's been waiting in the shadows of your mind. That's not coincidence, it's instruction. The message you prayed for was never just to comfort you, it was to awaken obedience. What you're hearing now in your spirit are the echoes of divine timing guiding you to take aligned steps. And those steps matter. Each one shifts the energy of your entire path. Every choice you make from peace, every word you speak from faith, every boundary you set from love, all of it rewrites your reality. You are becoming the embodiment of answered prayer, the visible manifestation of invisible grace. What once seemed unreachable is now moving closer, drawn to the light you've cultivated within. You'll find beauty in strange places now. A morning breeze, a quiet sunset, even a passing glance from someone. Everything will seem to carry a message. It's because your senses have sharpened beyond the physical. You've entered spiritual perception. You can now feel when something is meant for you and when it's not, without needing to overanalyze. That inner guidance will be your compass. Trust it more than you trust what you see. The universe is not testing you anymore. It's presenting what was promised. The key is not to question it this time. When the opportunity comes, receive it. When peace calls you to move, follow. Don't let old fear convince you that you're unworthy of what's arriving. You've walked through too many fires to doubt your readiness now. The energy that once broke you has become the force that now builds you. This is the part of your story where manifestation meets realization. You are no longer watching for signs, you are living inside them. The people around you will begin to notice something different. They won't understand it, but they'll feel it. Just that quiet confidence, that glow that doesn't come from the world. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. The divine has found a resting place within you, and that presence cannot be hidden. Your life will start to reflect everything you once envisioned. Doors you couldn't open will unlock with ease. The very things you were once chasing will begin to chase you. This isn't luck, it's divine order catching up with your preparation. You've arrived at the intersection where prayer becomes reality. And as this unfolds, all you need to do is remain in gratitude. Gratitude keeps the channel open, keeps the energy flowing, and reminds the universe that you are ready for more. The message that once whispered in your heart is now becoming visible. It's taking shape through your choices, your words, your presence. You are stepping into a frequency where peace commands reality and love rearranges the impossible. This is what divine timing feels like. Effortless, unstoppable, undeniable. And from this point forward, the world around you will begin to shift to match what heaven has already written about you. It begins subtly, almost imperceptibly, the world rearranging itself to mirror what's already been established in your spirit. Things that used to resist you start to flow. Paths that were closed begin to open as if unseen hands are moving the pieces into place. The shift you once felt only inside is now visible in the physical. It's the quiet confirmation that the unseen has finally crossed into the scene. The message is no longer a whisper. It's a movement that ripples through every area of your life. You'll start to notice divine precision in everything. People will appear at the right moment, conversations will happen that seem scripted by destiny, and opportunities will align too perfectly to be random. The universe has entered agreement with your spirit. Every delay that once frustrated you was simply time arranging this perfection. Now, as the orchestration unfolds, you begin to understand the beauty of surrender, how letting go was never losing control, but allowing higher intelligence to take the lead. This stage of the journey feels lighter, but it's not without responsibility. You are being called to protect the energy that brought you here. The peace that you've cultivated is not fragile, but it must be guarded. You'll feel the temptation to explain your transformation, to justify your blessings, to make others understand, but you don't need to. What's happening in your life now isn't meant to be understood by everyone. It's sacred, meant for those who carry similar frequencies of truth and readiness. You may sense a soft distance forming between you and what once felt familiar. Don't resist that either. Your energy no longer fits the smaller version of you that once begged for permission to exist. You've entered a new realm, one where your very presence shifts atmospheres, where your silence carries weight, and where your peace is no longer dependent on outcomes. This is the aftermath of divine alignment, the stillness after the storm, the clarity after surrender. In this stillness, you'll begin to see the small miracles that surround you daily. A sudden breakthrough, a healing moment in a relationship, an unexpected message that feels like a personal echo from heaven. These are confirmations that you are in flow. The more you trust, the more the current carries you. You're no longer rowing against the tide, you're gliding with it, guided by unseen currents of grace. The prayers that once felt impossible are now unfolding quietly, beautifully, without struggle. You'll catch yourself swallowing, realizing that you don't feel the same heaviness anymore. The pain that once defined your nights is now wisdom resting gently in your soul. The people who hurt you no longer hold power over your emotions. You don't crave closure because peace itself became the closure. The message has transformed you from the inside out, not by changing your past, but by freeing you from its weight. This is where gratitude becomes your natural language. You'll find yourself whispering thank you in the most ordinary moments, while walking, breathing, seeing the sun filter through the window. Because deep down you know these moments are sacred. Each one is proof that you survived the waiting, that you endured the silence, that you made it through what was meant to break you. Gratitude keeps you grounded in abundance. It tells heaven you recognize the miracle of now. And with gratitude comes acceleration. Manifestations that once took months begins to arrive in days. The universe responds to your energy faster because resistance no longer blocks the flow. You've stopped fighting what's meant for you and started cooperating with it. That cooperation is magnetic. It draws blessings in, almost effortlessly. What you once prayed for is now searching for you. You've become a beacon, and your light is guiding destiny directly toward you. But even as everything aligns, remember this truth: you are still being refined. Every blessing carries lessons. Every answered prayer comes with new responsibility. You are no longer waiting for signs. You are now the vessel that carries them to others. People will begin to find comfort in your calm, guidance in your words, healing in your presence. Not because you're trying to fix anyone, but because your energy carries the residue of divine encounter. You've become the evidence that prayer changes reality. The days ahead will bring even more clarity. You'll sense it in your intuition, the quiet knowing that you're being led somewhere higher. What's unfolding next will require courage, because expansion always does. Don't fear it. You were prepared for this elevation long before you could understand it. The universe does not promote what isn't ready. Your readiness is the proof that the message has fully integrated within you. Everything that's happening now is an echo of your faith. What was once a cry in darkness has become light in motion. You are living the very answer you once longed for. The season of waiting has given birth to the season of witnessing. And soon the world will see through your life what happens when a soul refuses to give up, when prayer becomes persistence, and when surrender becomes strength.